In this video, we'll cover part 2 of acid and base titrations. We will cover more in details of weak acid and strong base titration. What that means is in this flask, you will have a weak acid, and what's being titrated through, or the titrant that's coming through from the burette into the flask, would be the strong base. Here's an example of a weak acid and strong base titration equation. You see this right here. This is acetic acid, and this is your weak acid. And the NaOH, that's your strong base. How did I know that this was a strong base? That's because this is in the reference sheet. How did I know this is a weak acid? It is not in the list of the reference sheet. So anything that is away from the reference sheet and that chart of the strong acid and base, we can assume that they are a weak acid. Then we have formed into water, this hydroxide reacted with H, and then you have the acetic acid forming into an acetate. So that's what's going on in here. You have NaOH coming straight into here, and then you have your acetic acid waiting for to react with the strong base. So strong base is NaOH. Weak acid is CH3CO2H. Then as it's falling through and they react together and forming a product here, what I really want to emphasize is actually taking out the spectator ions. Remember the spectator ions? If you don't remember, please watch the strong acid and base review, and you will see that how to identify the spectator ions. So here I have my spectator ion, which is my sodium. So I'm going to cross that out and cross out all the sodium here to help me understand and clarify things. So it leaves me with CH3CO2H plus hydroxide ion forming into water. And then you have your CH3CO2. Something to also note over here is that this double arrow should not be there, but rather one-headed arrow should be there. And the reason why is that the strong base is present. If you have anything strong, whether it's strong acid or strong base, does not matter, or maybe they're both strong, then we would have an arrow that's going straight to the right, meaning that it's going to complete the entire reaction as long as both of the reactants are present. Now, I want to illustrate this particular titration in graph, in the titration curve. So in a titration of a weak acid, you can already see a little bit of difference. You can see that the pH level is a little higher than a strong acid where it used to be on the very below. And that's because it's a weak acid, so it makes sense that pH is a little higher. Then as base is being added, you see that the curve starts to increase. Then at a certain point, also known as the equivalence point, that point is where in which the concentration of the weak acid and the concentration of the base is equal. So pretty much all of the H has been taken out. I apologize for the pause. It means all of the H has been taken out, and then now it has been formed into water. Then afterwards, as you add more and more NaOH, this is where in which all of the weak acid has been already used up, and this right here point is where in which only NaOH is present. So over here you have CH3CO2H present, and as time passes, you have more and more NaOH coming in. This is where CH3 and CO2 concentration is equal to the NaOH concentration. Then at this point, you don't have any more acetic acid, you just have NaOH present. and the conjugate base of the acetic acid, which is this, present. So you can already tell in this flask, in the very beginning, this would represents this corner over here, corner number 1. So I'm going to represent that as corner number 1. At corner number 2 is somewhere, say, around here. It's not exactly a corner, but there we go. And this point is your equivalence point. Now, if you add, this is where you pretty much stop where the hydroxide is being added. But if you add one more, say you have another flask here and it's very, very pink. Okay, it's a bright magenta pink, really bright pink, then you're pretty much at point number 4. Point number 4 here. Okay. Now I want to go back and kind of talk about the equivalence point a little bit for weak acid and weak base, or strong base. So at a point where weak acid is reactive with the strong base. So here's my weak acid with the strong base. The equivalence point will be greater than 7. So notice that it is greater than 7. It's at 8.72. When we had a strong acid and strong base, the equivalence point's pH was 7, but this is greater than 0.7. And the reason why is because the conjugate base of the acid, which is this one right here, the conjugate base is basic. And so therefore, it is considered to be more basic, okay? This is due to the conjugate base being basic and the conjugate acid being neutral. So conjugate acid, which is the water, is being neutral, whereas conjugate base, this is slightly basic. So this basicity contributes to the pH, and so therefore the pH is a little higher. I like to talk about this graph over here, and it illustrates a really good titration curve for all the different types of bases. So here I have a really strong acid and strong base titration. If you have a really strong acid, you'll notice that the curve is on the bottom. As you go up like this, these different colors, these are considered to be weak acid. So the very first point is that the stronger the acid being used, the lower the curve will be. Right? It's lower, the strong acid. Not only that, the starting value of the pH is quite low. So the stronger the acid, the lower the starting point. And that makes sense because it's more acidic. The starting point is very acidic. Well, what about the equivalence point? Well, the equivalent point is very similar in that the stronger the acid, the lower the equivalence point. And the reason why is because its conjugate base is weaker. So having a weaker conjugate base means that it's going to contribute to a lower pH. Then if you look at the Ka value, the stronger the acid, as you go down, like this is very strong, you'll see that the greater value of the Ka. So all of these 4 contributors kind of lets me know whether this particular titration has a strong acid or strong base present in the flask. But look at the end point right here, not the equivalence point, but rather the end point. The end point in this area, you'll notice this area right here. This area is where all the NaOH is just sort of meeting together, and they same with this same point as long as they're the same strong base that you're titrating with. This could stretch on to with the weak acid too. So if I were to say it the other way around, so the weaker the acid, the higher the curve will be. And we can say that the weaker the acid, the higher the starting point of the pH because they're less acidic. And the weaker the acid, the higher the equivalence point because the conjugate base is stronger. And we can say the Ka value is lower for weaker acid, but in the end, there is the same ending, which is with the strong base.